Thank you for joining me, Ashwin Bedi, on NMH at 1, where we highlight the news making waves in Namibia and beyond, ranging from current affairs to community stories, sports and economic news. Coming up in this broadcast, Kashaimo back with another stockfell. Namibia loses 1.5 billion Namibian dollars a year to illegal fishing. I wasn't sacked over alcohol, Kashikola says. Follow all our programs on oneup2.com or DSTV 285 or GoTV 25 in Namibia. Shortly, we head into the midday news update. About 26 shacks were gutted in a fire incident in Wavish-based Kusepmund on Wednesday. The head of the community policing subdivision in the Irongo region, Inspector Eleni Shapumba, confirmed the incident, saying it happened at around 11:30 p.m. in Tutaleni's Thomas Hochland Street. According to one of the fire victims, upon waking up, he allegedly saw that his brother's shack was on fire. The fire eventually spread further to other shacks, destroying a total of 26 shacks, Shapumba revealed. According to him, the cause of the fire is unknown at this stage. The owner of the first shack hasn't been home since Monday. Fortunately, no injuries or casualties were reported, only damages to property. The scene is to be revisited this morning to ascertain more facts, he said. Visual News highlights local stories from across Namibia right after the break.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
The Swakopmund Mayor, Dina Namubes, announced that the town has been earmarked for the largest hydrogen plant in the near future. The French hydrogen power producer HDF applied for land 2 years ago, which was officially approved and allocated recently. Production is expected to start in 2024. The scoping report has been approved by the Ministry of Environment and Tourism, while the project agreement is still in progress. Precious Ngitaunapo reports.
I am really proud and glad to announce that Swakopmund has been earmarked to have the largest hydrogen production plant in the near future. The HDF plant applied for land 2 years ago and the land was approved and allocated. The plant will be constructed on the northern part of Swakopmund, and construction will be starting in 2024. So the agreement, project agreement, is in progress. However, the scoping report has been accepted by the ministry, the MET. That was done last year, and we are definitely going to start with the construction in March 2024. So, but we are proud to say that Swakopmund will be having the largest hydrogen production plant in the whole of Africa and in Irongo region. And I'm proud to say that our youth will definitely benefit out of this. And I believe that we are also going to address the unemployment problem, as well as the youth study programs. We are definitely going to answer the problems with regards to education, and this is also going to strengthen our cultural backgrounds. It's already Swakopmund is a center which is multicultural and which is filled with diverse cultures. So through this project and through education, we are going to benefit a lot of things, like skills development, cultural interactions. We are definitely going to invite a lot of investors from abroad. So this is quite interesting and quite thrilling. I am so happy to be the mayor of this beautiful, resourceful town. Thank you.
The Namibian government opened a scholarship call for master's degrees and TVET applications for Namibian youth. Erongo Regional Governor Neville Andre announced that the Erongo region has been identified as one of the preferred regions for applicants to take part in the Youth for Green Hydrogen Scholarship Program 2024. The deadline for submission of the applications is 6 October 2023. Precious Gitao Napo reports.
For TVET diploma or certificate for full duration of the studies. This indeed is an opportunity not to be missed and should attract the interest of all Namibian young people. I am therefore calling on all young Namibians to take advantage of this call and apply. In order for the youth in Erongo region to take advantage of this call, my office, in collaboration with the Erongo Regional Council, will assist in facilitating applications from the region to submit their applications. The applications can be done online or hard copies can be submitted. We will avail an identifiable box where applications or applicants can submit forms at the office of the governor and all constituency offices, settlement offices, and traditional authorities. Will also engage with the local authorities to come on board to assist. This is the box that you will find identified clearly, and applicants can submit or throw in their forms into this box. My office will soon also spread the message on radio stations as well as developing posters for social media circulation to entice all citizens in the Erongo region that conforms to the requirements. The workshop is to give more detail about the application for scholarship. We're also inviting young people to attend this workshop so that they can get more information and also be enticed or have clear information in terms of how to apply and when to apply. But we will also avail our offices in terms of the regional office, settlement office, and the constituency office for those that also would want to apply online. The services or systems will be made available. And of course, we hope that also the local authorities will also assist in availing this to them. And once more, I would want to call on our young people in the Erongo region to take advantage of this great opportunity and to be part of the future which is bright for Namibia. I thank you, and that is what I am here to announce to you.
Now, Meonayo Shirode from Namibia Correctional Services speaks at the handover of a donation from FNB to Women at Work for a new social project aiming to train parolees for future jobs in the dressmaking industry. Katarina Mossa reports.
When the Namibian Correctional Service was approached by the Women at Work Training Center to refer individuals who were released into the community, including those released on parole and remission to the program, we were pleased to know that the consequential work of offering community-based vocational training interventions to individuals who are released from correctional facilities, which was previously carried out by organizations such as Change, is able to continue through the commitment of the Women at Work Training Center. We believe that such cooperation between civil society organizations is key towards leveraging synergies in order to aid individuals such as ex-offenders to ensure their transformative support and care. Ladies and gentlemen, the Namibian Correctional Service is mindful of the fact that initiatives such as this is very important and would not exist were it not for the generous funding offered by First Rand Group Namibia. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may, please allow me to specifically address those at the center of the reason why we are all here today, and that is our New Beginnings program participants, many of whom I was so happy to see some familiar faces amongst the participants that I've worked with throughout my time at corrections. And one of the key lessons learned through correctional work is that people who return back to their families and communities after release face many challenges. These challenges are familiar to many of you here today. These are the realities that many of you faced. There is often a lack of understanding, for instance, by loved ones of the difficulty in adjusting to being back to normal life, including getting back to being a mother or father to your children, who you haven't seen for months or even years, but you face this reality with courage and strength. The new skills that you will learn during the training is what you never had. My hope for all training participants is that you fully commit to making the most of this opportunity, to invest in your ability to give yourself a business idea that you have never had before or a new employment opportunity.
After the break, Namibian Sun leads us into the newspaper review segment.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Heading into the newspaper review, Namibian Sun reports that former Home Affairs Deputy Minister Daniel Kashikola brushed off the hype around his Tuesday night sacking by President Hage Geingob and denied suggestions he was sacked over alcohol abuse. He was arrested in December 2019 for allegedly driving under the influence of alcohol and was released on an 8,000 Namibian bail. Suggestions that he was again arrested last weekend for the same offense appear to be untrue. On page 3, the Namibian police yesterday announced a firearm amnesty campaign running from 1 to 30 September. This campaign will allow individuals to surrender all unlicensed firearms without fear of being criminally charged and prosecuted. September is Africa Amnesty Month. According to Safety and Security Minister Albert Kawana, those who surrender these illegal firearms after 30 September will be prosecuted according to national laws. After this, the police will show no mercy. On the front page of Republican, pursuant to a settlement agreement, the liquidators of Ramatex Textiles Namibia will sell 8 of the enormous warehouses on site in Windhoek and rehabilitate the land. This is the end of a court case between the liquidators and the city of Windhoek that dragged on for 13 years. One of the terms of the agreement is that the municipality will receive 30% of the net income from the sale of 2 of the 8 warehouses. These are known as the Taiwa warehouses, and the municipality claimed that Ramatex was not entitled to compensation for the construction of those 2 warehouses because it signed a lease agreement with Taiwan. Ramatex claimed that it paid to erect those 2 buildings. On page 3, a case in which the law on veterans is being challenged based on a claim that it is discriminatory in that it only benefits freedom fighters of the then People's Liberation Army of Namibia has recently been delayed. Attorney General Festus Mbandeka also responded to the allegations. Earlier this year, Willem Beekers, a former member of the then Southwest African Territorial Force, requested the High Court to review the Veterans Act of 2008 and the Veterans Amendment Act 3 of 2013. He claimed that the current government regularly makes defamatory allegations, such as a statement that SWATF fought on the wrong side during the freedom struggle. On its front page, the Agamana Zeitung also highlights that the Women at Work program has set up a new course in which ex-offenders can gain qualifications in dressmaking and thus regain a foothold in the world of work. FNB supported this with a donation. And on page 3, AZ is focusing on the bitter dispute over assets between the heirs of Dr. Franz Stellmacher, who died in 2016, which continues to be unabated, with 2 of the daughters now being hauled into court on charges of corruption. One of the daughters, Golda, who has since been dismissed as the administrator of the state, has filed a counterclaim for $7.3 million for the management and administration of the estate and the maintenance of the assets belonging to it. However, this new executor of her estate, Ibn de Klerk, who accuses her of allegedly transferring $2.2 million from her father's bank account to herself and her sister, told the court that the probate code does not provide for administrative expenses. Stay with us as we talk fishing with a Namibian.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
The Namibian reports that the Confederation of Namibian Fishing Associations says Namibia loses over 1.5 billion Namibian dollars due to illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing activities per year. According to the Confederation, over 100,000 tons of fish are harvested by 6 or 7 foreign trawlers that are allegedly working under license in Angolan waters in the northern part of the country annually. On page 3, President Hage Geingob has pleaded with the nation to open its doors to the 2023 Population and Housing Census team. Geingob yesterday launched the national census, which will kick off on Monday and run until 3 November. The president said the census aims to provide the facts essential to the government for policy making, planning and administration. Namibians who refuse to provide enumerators with data in the forthcoming census may be slapped with a 50,000 Namibian dollar fine or jail term of up to 5 years or both. The New Era's lead story reports that Katutura constituency councillor Vedemba Rodman Kashaimo has revealed plans to organize a trip for fans who are eager to watch the men's national team in action at the Africa Cup of Nations taking place in Ivory Coast next year. The exciting development comes hot on the heels of the men's national football team, affectionately known as the Brave Warriors, securing their spot in the much-anticipated 2024 AFCON tournament. On page 3, Information and Communication Technology Minister Pea Mushelenga said access to information services and facilities is no longer a luxury but a necessity, given the role these technologies play in society. Mushelenga made these remarks yesterday at the launch of the newly constructed Powercom Koreakamp Tower, which constitutes an investment of over 965,000 Namibian dollars. And the Market Watch reports that analysts see the rising Brent crude prices coupled with the strong US dollar as the biggest upside risk of inflation. According to IJG Securities, the OPEC alliance has been restricting supply to support oil prices, especially in light of weak demand indicators from China, a major consumer of oil. The Ministry of Mines and Energy last week announced an increase in petrol prices for ULP 95 by 1.20 Namibian dollars, while diesel prices for both 50 ppm and 10 ppm rose by 1.70 Namibian dollars. Namibia is a price taker in the international oil market, and actions or decisions that emanate from the supply forces have a significant impact on local fuel prices, the ministry said. Now, alcoholic beverages, tobacco and the hospitality industry drove headline inflation in August. An update on this comes up next in Economic News.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Alcoholic beverages, tobacco and the hospitality industry, as well as a less deflationary trend in transport inflation, are now Namibia's primary drivers of headline inflation, official figures reveal. Headline inflation in August 2023 showed a marginal increase, ticking up to 4.7% year-on-year from 4.5% in July 2023. While the increase is noteworthy, it remains significantly lower than the 7.3% recorded in August 2022, signaling some respite for consumers. Sirius Capital's head of research, Robert McGregor, said the evolving composition of inflation drivers reflects a changing economic environment. McGregor said one of the standout trends in recent months has been the consistent deceleration of annual inflation in the food and non-alcoholic beverages category. This decline has persisted for 6 consecutive months, reflecting greater stability in essential goods pricing. Let's head into the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 18.88 next to the US dollar, with 23.49 Namibian dollars getting you 1 British pound. Most selected NSX stock closing prices maintain their value. Local index closed up 0.73%, whilst Oryx Properties Limited managed a 10.60% uptick. Gold made a dip of 0.16%, whilst copper, platinum and Brent crude oil made it into the green. Opposition parties in Madagascar have denounced what they say is an institutional coup. More in News from Africa shortly.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Opposition parties in Madagascar have denounced what they say is an institutional coup after the Prime Minister, an ally of President Andry Rajoelina, was put in charge of the nation in the run-up to a presidential election. In a letter to electoral authorities received on Tuesday, 10 of 13 presidential candidates said court rulings that handed the reins of the Indian Ocean island to Christian Ntesei were dictated by Rajoelina and his entourage to favor the president in November's election. The power carried out a real institutional coup with the aim of putting the Prime Minister in charge of the state during the presidential electoral period in order to manipulate the results for the benefit of their candidate. The signatories, including 2 former presidents, wrote, "Voters in Madagascar, one of the poorest countries on the globe, despite vast natural resources, head to the polls to elect a president on 9 November. Rajoelina resigned on Saturday in line with the constitution in order to run for re-election." Let's swing over to France as we talk international news.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
In international news, France is set to ban disposable e-cigarettes known locally as puffs because of the danger they pose to the environment and public health. Speaking recently on RTL Radio, Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne said the measure was part of a new anti-smoking plan being drawn up by the government. It should be enforced by the end of the year, campaigners said. Several other countries in Europe, including Germany, Belgium and Ireland, have announced similar bans. The UK is also said to be considering one. Sold over the counter by tobacconists, disposable vapes in France cost cost around €9. They're supposed to offer around 600 puffs, the rough equivalent of 40 cigarettes. But France's National Academy of Medicine described them as a particularly sly trap for children and adolescents. We'll be swinging over talking brave warriors and AFCON in local sport.
Good evening and welcome to Sunset News.
Dutch Minister's List A in his speech rate in taxes and how much.
After the break, we take a look at the sports.
We bring you
economic indicators, tomorrow's weather and sports. I am Aina Raiza Kweyong.
Namibia's senior national team's qualification to the Africa Cup of Nations will come in handy as far as the development of the sport in the country is concerned, administrators say. Vivo Energy Namibia this morning announced a sponsorship of fuel worth 150,000 Namibian dollars to Blue Waters Football Club for the 2023-24 Demarine Namibia Premiership season. And after a 3-month break, the Bank Windhoek Fistball League will return to the Coast Swakopmund Fistball Club this weekend from 8:30 a.m. In the National A-League, the reign-in league champions Cohen Fistball Club are at the top of the table with 21 points. In international sports, the 2023-24 Motsepe Foundation Championship returns from the international break this weekend, with log leaders Orbit College looking to maintain their perfect start to the season. Harry Maguire said he can deal with the hostile treatment from opposition supporters and that it takes the pressure off his England teammates after the defender was mocked by Scotland fans following his own goal on Tuesday. And Springbok hooker Malcolm Marx has been ruled out of the remainder of the Rugby World Cup in France with a long-term knee injury. If you are just joining us, this is NMH at 1, and we'll get into the highlights from today's broadcast right after this.
Stock up and save with the best deals at WB. Get 1 litre Vita Creamy for $11.99. 2 litre Nam Milk Omaere for $44.99. 200 gram top class spice mix for $11.99. 10 kg Hotchfeld maize for $84.99. Plus 2 kg surf washing powder for just $52.99. See more WB specials online at www.vurmanbrock.com. We care.
NMH at 1 on Thursday, the 14th of September. These are some of our top stories. Opposition parties in Madagascar have denounced what they say is an institutional coup after the Prime Minister and ally of President Andry Rajoelina was put in charge of the nation in the run-up to the presidential election. France is set to ban disposable e-cigarettes known locally as puffs because of the danger they pose to the environment and public health. Vivo Energy Namibia this morning announced a sponsorship of fuel worth 150,000 Namibian dollars to Blue Waters Football Club for the 2023-24 Demarine Namibia Premiership season. Don't miss NMH at 1 every weekday from 1 p.m.